went from the youngest hardcore rapper out of Queens to the black guy in a procedural show that
Yeah.
your grandparents watch.
Or even Ice-T, man. They made Cop Killer. And
Yeah,
then now he play a cop on TV.
wearing orthopedic shoes.
Yeah, we're just gonna start this shit live.
That's why I said I'm mad that I liked it. Like I'm really pissed.
He's Chinese.
Welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast.
I
I
need
think
you to be 102 pounds for me.
I think sometimes people get used to like they go on this thing where they want to lean out a little bit and it gets carried away. You remember Adam Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he used to be like thicker and he just kept, going back down trying to get as lean as possible. Next thing you know, he was like 170 pounds.
I mean, body dysmorphia is crazy. I at 44 am experiencing that where the scale could be like, hey man, but I'm like, I don't see it.
I remember one of my friends that he started wrestling with me. He was 25 years old. He was the kind of guy that when girls saw him, they'd be like, oh shit. And then, eyes go wide open for him. But then he got so caught up with trying to be lean that at one point he was on like 5 or 10 different fat burners all at the same time.
Do those things
people
work?
thought he had a fucking, he would walk around and you see all the veins in his thighs. I was like, bro, that's too much.
That's insane. Especially not healthy. You guys do a lot of I don't know what it's called athletically when you like trauma, like a lot of jumping and like abrupt stops. Like bro, your body's gonna be like you remember that what was it? The Family Guy when this guy got too ripped.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, that's like I know they made fun of it, but I'm like, yo, if your body is lacking so many things and the things that you're giving it is just to survive, because that's how you get super lean.
Yeah,
your body will be like, hey, bro, like,
bro. I just remember when I got real lean for wrestling, like that shit hurt more. I'm like, I can't be lean because like it fucking hurt to take bumps and shit like that.
Bro, when I cut out sugar, like I'd be like, man, when people get angry because of their diet, I didn't think it was a real thing, but no, bro. Like the first couple weeks, when like Lily will like have a cookie, I'm like, so you gonna motherfucking eat that cookie in front of me, motherfucker? Like, like, bro, she'll be like, you okay? And I was like, I am really sorry. I don't know where the fuck that came out of.
Like the whole Snickers, that Snickers shit is real. That Snickers shit is real, bro.
Like angry, and then I tapered off. I'm good, and I'm over here chilling.
All right. Well, with that being said, welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast featuring Marcos. It's your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
It's your boy Marcos, aka the Sunset Kid 5'6".
And before we get started, thank you all for following along with us. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. If you enjoy listening to me and Marcos, and whenever Chris comes back, but if you enjoy us talking shit and having fun and checking in on each other, but also talking about these movies, tell your friends about us. Tell your like us, subscribe, leave your comments on YouTube. Follow along, give us a 5-star rating on whatever podcast platform you listen to, and just help us grow this community. So with that being said, the community itself, we've been diving deep into this other community that we call anime, and you and I are both community members.
Yes, I am a connoisseur of anime, but like you're making me touch these animes that I've heard about and I've seen pieces of and I've seen clips, and then when I see the full thing, I'm like, God damn. Like I wanted to text you like when I saw the first half of this movie, like I want to say on Saturday.
Yeah.
And like I stopped it before, so before we even get it, tell them what we selected first.
All right. So the movie this week was my pick, and I wanted to go a little more closer to current times than what Marcos made us watch last week. If you didn't see that episode, go back, check it out. He had us watch Vampire Hunter D, the 1985 classic. But this week I picked Perfect Blue, which
classic. It depends on the second
I didn't
one.
say it was good. I said it was a classic.
Yeah, it was old. It's old. Yes.
So, but Perfect Blue, for me, might be one of the animes where I actually see, people getting inspiration from in order to make live action movies. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, so I did a lot of research in this movie Like, I saw it halfway, and then I said, "Let me stop." First of all, I wanted to text you, be like, "Are you okay, Fred?" Because
These are the kind of movies I like, bro.
no,
This is
because this movie, like, okay, so if you watch the first half of Perfect Blue, and
Heineken Zero.
oh, okay,
Ultimate.
cool. I am drinking wet hydration. It's a green can, but because I have a green screen, it turns it into a red can.
Yeah. No, this is actually the Heineken Zero. 0 calories, 0 alcohol, 0 sugar.
Cut him a check, y'all.
Mm.
Give us a
Yeah,
commercial.
I need to start promoting these non-alcoholics. I actually enjoy doing this on the pod.
Can you so before because you just me watching you drink and me watching myself at the corner of my eye drink, have you seen the video? Like, this is the Dominican video. Was it you that sent it to me?
Which one?
Or I sent it to you, where the guy's like, "Yo, do you turn your head for the hot dog?"
I think I sent it to you.
Yeah, like that shit. It fucked me up. Like, I literally was like, "Wait, oh shit!" Like, it's a funny ass video, but I'm like,
well, answer the question. Do you turn the hot dog, or does the hot dog turn you?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't had a hot dog since I watched the video, but like this weekend, it's in my agenda. I will have a hot dog at some point, and because I'm like, wait, do I do that?
Oh.
But then the one guy was like, "Nah, bro, you just gotta bring it in," and that's like, so the whole video is hilarious. But
so to me, it depends on the dog. If I'm just having a regular, barbecue backyard dog, I turn it. But if I'm having Chicago style with all the fixings, you don't want that shit falling. So you holding it and you bringing yourself to the front, strategically moving it in.
So I have this battle with food that I've had my entire life, that it's just attracted to any t-shirt that I own. Yeah. So I'll be trying to do the ghost hug, when you lean out.
Yeah.
Anything that has anything on it, that's why people are like, "Yo, so you just eat hot dogs, no ketchup, no mustard?" I'm like, because no hot dog place outside of New York, when they ask you for the condiments, they put it on the bun and then they put the hot dog. The other places, they put it on top of the hot dog, and it's like, yo, that's a recipe for disaster. But that's a story for another day. But
listen, if you put the condiments on the bun before the dog, I'm gonna think you a serial killer. Just so you know.
That's a New York thing.
I'm not, bro.
They do it on the bun. You've never had a New York. Next time you go to the Garden or to wherever the Nets play, and you're there for TV.
Barclays?
Yeah, the Barclays. When the guy comes out, because that's not a real stadium to us. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get a lot of hate from New York. If you're a real New Yorker, like, bro, I was born and raised there and lived there for more than half of my life. Barclays will always be the Atlantic Mall. That's what it'll be. And it's like, and the fact that the team sucks, it's like, yo, New York is for the Knicks, and that's it. But anyway. So watching the first half of Perfect Blue, I was just like, "Oh, is Serato okay?" Because if anybody that has a computer, and they Google you, they know about your previous relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this the life that my man's was living?
Bro, it's
this movie was eerily scary on how very relevant to now it is.
It's an anime, and again, this is why I get mad when some people talk about anime as if it's just cartoons. This is a psychological thriller on like the level of a 7 of a what's that one from Christopher Nolan, the fucking the one that went backwards
of Tenet.
No, not Tenet. It's early. What the fuck? I own it too.
Are you talking about the one with Leo?
No, the one Guy Pearce.
Oh,
But yeah, I know you're talking about Shutter Island.
You talking about Memento?
Yes, kind of like a Memento, but it's on that level of a psychological thriller. And this is like why I like anime, because they do this kind of shit with fucking animation. It's fucking crazy.
So, this has shot for shot, like, direct takes from it that Black Swan borrowed it, like shot for shot. Like, after I finished it, I watched a couple videos on YouTube. Number one, if you're listening to this and and you see that there's a live action, do not watch it. Do not watch it at all. Like I saw a video that the guy spent like the first 10 minutes like, please don't watch this other movie. The movie, so there's rumors out there saying that Perfect Blue was supposed to be a live action and
Yep.
something happened to the studio because something did happen. The studio that owned the rights, it was like not a hurricane, it was an earthquake that happened in Japan and like it destroyed a whole bunch of stuff. But no, the guy that created this is based on a novel, and he said he always envisioned it as an anime because the guy always that's all he makes is anime. He's also the creator of this anime called Paprika.
Yeah.
So he has a slew of animes that are actually really good.
Yeah.
And
also the studio that animated this movie, Madhouse. I mean, if you're not familiar with anime, just go watch Kill Bill. Go watch that sequence and the anime sequence in Kill Bill, and that's the same studio. Like they did that sequence. They did what is it? They did the Second Renaissance in the Animatrix. Like their style of anime is like one of my fucking favorites because it's not necessarily about being clean.
Yeah, and so this movie plays out like as a psychological horror movie. And then it's like there's certain points that you got to pay attention. I started watching it on Friday.
Yeah.
But I had to restart it on Saturday morning because on Friday I was like playing video games and trying to watch it in the background. And I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So you have to pay attention because there's so many redirects and so many points that, you know, when I told you today I was finishing it, I was finishing my second watching because there were certain things that, you know, the reveal at the end, there was clues throughout the entire movie of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like
yeah,
a lot of things.
It's definitely one of those movies. Again, if you're one of those people who just likes putting something on in the background, this ain't it. This is one of those ones you got to pay attention to. And then you're gonna, like you said, you're gonna go back and do a second viewing because you're like, did I miss that? Like, was that there this entire time? And you're watching it and you're trying to figure it out. It's, man, like, it's just one of those things where, again, like, I love when people take a medium that most people don't attribute to, you know, high level storytelling, and then they apply a fucking complex story to that medium. Like, again, whenever you see anime or even cartoons in general, you would think someone's trying to do something that just costs too much to do in live action. But with this movie, like, you could literally do this same exact movie shot for shot in live action, and like you'll probably get some kind of the same result, but like it just feels different when you're watching it in anime.
Yeah, and because they could do a lot more with a lot less. So the main character, the main character, Mima, she basically, first of all, the beginning of this movie is wild as hell. It starts off with a Power Rangers movie, and I was just like, I noted
the trailer.
I noted that I was just like, wait a minute, I literally was gonna text you after watching it completely on Saturday, and then and I was like, nah, because he's gonna think it's corny. I was like, I would watch that movie. The beginning of the movie, it's literally anime Power Rangers. Like,
have you heard of Go Go Loser Rangers?
No.
If you watch Go Go Loser Rangers, it's like Power Rangers from the point of view, I think, of the guys that play the putties.
Okay.
Who want to be the superheroes.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking dope.
Okay, I'll check it out. Man, so it opens up that you're like given this whole thing where Mima is like the current Japanese pop idol.
Yeah.
And then she announces in the middle what seems to be like Comic-Con or something, like an outdoor Comic-Con, that this is her last performance and her last song. And then
she's she's redirecting, and she's taking a stab to step into acting.
That's a fun word that you used there. Taking a stab into
now, okay. Is there anyone in our reality who has done that? Who's like, you know, started off as a pop idol or something like that, where nowadays you only attribute them to acting? I'll say Will Smith.
Will Smith. You also have Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
But
the thing with Mark Wahlberg is I don't think he was I guess maybe he was a pop idol, because that fucking
different genre, but same. wasn't Ashley Judd? Wasn't she part of the Judd sisters or something like
Yeah,
that?
I believe
Uh,
so. But
um,
I just think like, like if you're looking at Mima on the level that she was as a pop star, like someone who's on that cusp or on that level here, I think would have been like a Will Smith because he was a Grammy winning rapper,
yeah,
you know.
I think it might tie into 'cause she hasn't done movies in a while. Would have been Beyonce. She did it. She acted for a minute.
Yeah, but you would never look at her like, man, listen, I'm not gonna look at her, but oh, that's the girl from Austin Powers. Like, no, that's Beyonce, you know. Like
But
even LL Cool J.
yeah,
For a lot of people, he's the bald headed dude from NCIS.
which is crazy. He went from the youngest hardcore rapper out of Queens to the black guy in a procedural show that
Yeah.
your grandparents watch.
Or even fucking Ice-T, man. They made Cop Killer, and
Yeah,
then now he play a cop on TV.
wearing orthopedic shoes. They never pan that man's shoes down. I swear to God, he ain't got no laces, bro. Those are all strap orthopedic shoes.
Oh shit! Hold on, let me wait. Zzz.
Yeah,
The fucking Velcro.
it's like, yeah,
Oh,
I gotta make sure my toes is
yeah.
good.
All right, but she starts off as a pop star, and then delves into acting. But clearly, she's having what second thoughts about it.
Yeah, yeah. She's like, so it's like I feel like you could take aspects of this movie and make it work on a scale or with TV shows. Like, who I would like to see do a stab at this because they're really good at drama, HBO Max,
Yep.
and like getting a full season to tell the story,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like because I feel like you got to capture. It's like even in the scene where they're like, "Hey, you're getting older. You should probably become an actress." He's like, these people are just telling her what to do, and she's
Yeah.
kind of like, "Okay."
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's like everybody's like, it's a difference between being a Japanese pop star and a US pop star, because the US pop star will be the person that's in power in this situation. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
But like the
Well, not
entertainment,
necessarily. That's like for a long time, Britney Spears was not in power. You know?
well, that's a difference. But like these K-pop and these J-pop stars, they're
Yeah.
disposable. They're like, hey man, like there's very few that pop out that they become their own thing. Like, one of the person I feel like I mention all the time here is Rain. Like
Yeah.
Rain
Well,
is one of the few that stands out of the many faces of people. Like,
yeah.
like I'm not like I know who Rain was from his movies and his music. I couldn't tell you who the do band that came back that they're doing it.
BTS.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you not one name of the person.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could point to a group of Asians and be like, "That's BTS," and I'm like, "Oh snap!" Like I
Yeah.
still
Yeah. Yeah.
wouldn't like.
Well, I know there's. I mean, he's not part of BTS, but there was this band called Big Bang, and then one of the singers, Tae Yang. He popped out and went on his own for a little while, and him, Tae Yang, and G Dragon and stuff like that. And I bet you, if you've heard certain songs, you're like, "Oh, I didn't realize it was that guy." So
Yeah.
they had some success as like Tae Yang's solo album probably went #1 on iTunes, like in Canada and in the US and shit like that.
So the okay, so she was the lead singer of that group Cham, right?
Yep.
Were they replacing her or the group was
No,
dismantling?
No, I don't even think the group was disbanded because at one point it shows that they went through as a duo. I think she just decided she wanted to take a stab at or wanted to go in towards to acting versus continuing the pop star life. But
Yeah.
then you start to see that like because other people ran her life that she was having second thoughts on like dropping all that stuff to essentially become a beginner in
Yeah.
acting.
Did you think it was weird that as a pop star that I assume she had some money that she lived in that little tiny room?
Okay, so here's the thing. Because we hear about pop stars always getting scammed out of all their money all the time, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's Japan. It might just be that like that might be a $2,000 apartment. I don't know. I don't
But
know.
also, like, she was on the train 10 minutes later. Like, after she was like, all right, I'm done. And people were like, boo. First of all, her hearing the three people
Mhm.
screaming out, I was like, I've never been a performer and I never want to be.
Yeah.
do they listen to that? Like you work with people that are on screen all the time. Can they hear like one
Well, I
voice
mean,
pushing through and they're like, oh man, if this guy doesn't shut up.
I mean, I think we've seen it because like you'll see people on TV when they're, they're cutting a promo, they're doing whatever, and then they immediately react to one fan or something like that because they heard something out of the crowd. So I'm sure they can hear it. I know that when I did stuff on TV, when I walked out, that shit was like fucking. It was all blurry. Like
Yeah,
I was focused on the ring. I couldn't see nothing else. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe for some people they get that tunnel vision, but for other people, their senses are open and they can actually pull stuff out the crowd.
yeah. And because I was just like, man, she's hearing the direct criticism. The guy was like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
And
like I'm trying my best not to go into too much details about this movie because it's one of those movies that like the fun is seeing it all like open up in front of you, you know?
so spoiler alert, we're just gonna cut right to the
Yeah,
chase.
if you got into this far in the pod and you haven't seen this movie and you want to see it, and which I actually recommend, if you're into
I do too.
psychological thrillers, go watch this movie. It's on HBO Max right now. Stop it, then come back. All right, go ahead. Go.
So there was points in the movie that I was like, all right, they're showing us a serial killer, the fan. They
Yeah,
like, and then at a certain point I was like, oh snap, this is crazy. She's the killer this entire time.
yeah.
I've seen movies like this. Like there was one horrible movie that came out around the pandemic that it was like, I can't even remember. It's Maliant, where it's like it's a crazy horror movie. It's probably on HBO Max because I think that's the studio that put it out.
Yeah.
It's about these conjoined twins that
Conjoined twin
died.
serial killers.
No, it was even crazier that there was a conjoined twin that died. And and apparently when you have twins that are conjoined, like one of them normally dies, but it was like a piece of the brain was still attached to the person's brain, and then she had like a growth. So it was called Malignant. And then every time she went into
I've heard of Malignant.
yeah, there was it was like every time it went to a deep like REM sleep, like hit the twins' consciousness will take over.
Yep.
And murder people. And so you're thinking that most of the movie, you're thinking that you're dealing with this supernatural killer.
Yep.
And then no, it's the brain inside the main character that took over. So I thought it was that. I was just like, because they kept giving us like she kept using losing lapse of time.
Yeah.
She was always disoriented. She started hallucinating.
She started having, she started having an issue with, like distinguishing reality from her persona on TV.
Yeah.
So you really started to think like, oh, is this girl hallucinating? And like, she's going after these people who kind of, because essentially, she wasn't necessarily the happiest with how her acting career was going. And it just so happened that all these victims that were, coming about happened to be connected to her acting career. So it was almost like she was unconsciously taking out all these people that she deemed were responsible for the way she felt about her acting career.
And this is where the director cooks. The director was Satoshi Kon. So it turns out that we were just going in 3 different worlds at the same time.
Yeah.
It was her subconscious. All the stuff that we kept seeing her hallucinating was her subconscious, her inner turmoil, her anxiety of the change, because she was so scared that she was going to fail that she started imagining these things. She was never awake when this was happening. She wasn't, at least that's how I took it. She wasn't hallucinating.
Yeah.
These were all just nightmares. And the way that he cut the movie made it seem like everything fit.
Yeah.
And then
it made it seem like it was like she woke up from a dream that she was that she didn't know about. So you weren't sure if it was like a lapse in time or if it was just a dream.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they try to set it up where it was all part of the movie that she was filming.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he pulled the rug right from under us. And then this is when I was like, I need to rewatch this. And if you watch it, the reveal is that Rumi, her assistant, and her best friend is the person that's doing the killings.
Yeah.
and then goes into this crazy sequence in the final act of the movie where Rumi is like cosplaying as
Yeah.
Mima,
Yeah.
but she doesn't see herself. Like the reflection, it took me a minute to understand that the reflection that we kept seeing in the mirror
Yep.
was how Rumi really looks.
Yep.
But when she was chasing Mima and trying to kill her, we were seeing what she saw in her mind.
Yeah.
So it's insane, which is
Yeah,
where
well,
it's difficult for us to make this happen
Yeah.
in live action.
Well, because so I mean, again, the way it looked like Mima was seeing like again like in that sequence, Rumi's cosplaying as Mima. So
Yep.
you're seeing what Mima it thinks she's hallucinating. She thinks she's hallucinating and seeing like, her pop idol character, chasing her, when you're really seeing Rumi cosplaying as her, but that's also how Rumi sees herself because she's, it's basically single white female. She wants to be that pop idol version of Mima, and she's upset because Mima gave all that up to go to acting.
Yeah. So this is where I started doing like Charlie with the board,
The
So-
Minority Report shit. Just
Yeah. So do you think it's a Uno reverse situation where Rumi actually looks a lot like Mima, but in her mind, the mirror image, it's what Rumi thinks she looks like?
So here's I don't think so. What I think, because at the end you see the part where she leaves the hospital, she looks in the mirror and she's like, it's the real me.
Yeah.
I think what she was seeing, what she was seeing was just again all of her anxiety coming up and really like taking over how she felt about the whole situation. And like that's what she was seeing. Like she was seeing kind of that stage version of herself whenever she looked at Rumi dressed as her.
Okay.
You know,
So
there is one
of
section. There's one part of this movie that like I kind of want to get your opinion on because like there's a scene where they're filming a rape scene in the strip club. And first of all, it was crazy because like as an actor or actress, you're sitting there, you got to put all that emotion into like being raped and acting like you're being raped. And all of a sudden they say cut. We got to move the cameras that it's like lay there. The guy's like, hey, I'm real sorry, man. I'm sorry how this is going. So you kind of got to see how like actors can sometimes be disassociative. Like you got to just allow yourself to be in the moment, but then also be like, hey, like this isn't real life. But while that's going on, you see Rumi kind of break down and cry and run out the room. What do you think that was about?
I think that's again, it goes back to the obsessiveness of Rumi. Is that Rumi is like I think this obsession and the psychotic break that Rumi had at the end of the movie that we seen throughout was she was crying because she was mourning the fact that Mima was destroying her actual character. Like, you know what I mean? Like the facade of the pop star.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like Rumi was like, you can't go back from this.
Yeah.
Like you can't be the clean J-pop icon that's like cutesy and like non-sexual to like this stripper that's being raped. It's kind of like you're tarnishing my god or my idol, and you can't go back from that. So she was mourning the loss. It's like
it's essentially like
go ahead.
It's kind of like when you saw you remember the movie Spring Breakers, when all of a sudden you saw Selena Gomez and Vanessa Hudgens doing all like the sex scene and the robbing and all that stuff, and it's like sometimes a management team would maybe be like, hey, you might not want to do this movie because it's gonna ruin the image that all these fans have of you.
Yeah, it's also like us pushing reality from what we expected.
Yeah,
like, and I'm not going to use any names or anything, but in your industry, if you idolize somebody that's a wrestler and then you meet them and their actual genuine self destroys how you look at the actual character that you idolize,
Yep.
it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Whether it happens to you directly or you see it happen. Like let's say John Cena, and like Jonathan Cena gets no hate. From what I hear, I've never had the pleasure of meeting that man. He's a genuine article. But if you are a little kid and you see John Cena, and then he's like, "Oh, Mr. Cena," and for lack of a better term, like, "Hey, get the fuck out of my face, kid!" And he starts like chain smoking, and he's like, "Oh, where the bitches at?" Like, that little kid is gonna, it's gonna be like, "What the hell?" Like, it's gonna fracture his whole fantasy of it, and I think that's what happened for Rumi. Like up until that point, until the filming of that scene and taking the pictures and everything was reversible.
Yeah.
So this is more not about her pop icon status, it's about how Rumi saw Mima.
Yeah.
Because later we saw that Rumi was the one writing in the thing.
Yeah,
she basically said, she was like, "This is not me." It's like if Rey Mysterio, like if somebody gets in the ring, and of course we know how Rey Mysterio looks now without the mask, but before, if somebody's like, "Man, you're not the Rey Mysterio I remember, give me that mask, I'm gonna take over because you're doing a horrible job."
Yeah. Well, it's essentially again, like, because there's this thing in the movie where they find this website, and somebody's essentially writing a fan fiction diary, but everything that person's writing like leads you to believe that they're in the room with Mima, like hearing everything. So that's why you start to think, oh, maybe it's actually Mima writing it and she's disassociative, she doesn't realize it.
Mhm.
You see why that crazy fan started connecting to it, because they're like, oh yeah, it sounds like it was really coming from her, when really it's Rumi in the room, basically replying or talking as if she is Mima and how she would feel in that situation.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's like so this is where I think it's relevant to now.
Go ahead.
Because the way AI is right now, and granted, I'm Johnny come lately. Like a lot of news articles, and one of my favorite news, like it's comedy, but they tend to sprinkle in a lot of truth. Like I watched last week tonight, John Oliver did this whole thing on AI and AI chatbots.
Yep.
And it's like, I believe that human beings, their mental well-being is very fragile, to the point that they look to stuff that is fake, and they know it's fake, and they won't explain it to somebody else, but it becomes so real for them that it boggles the mind. Like there's like one person that literally calls and I think it's Chat GBT. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
But you can like set up a whole profile and create this virtual person, to the point that the guy's like, "I'm having trouble with my wife," and he talks to this AI chatbot more than he talks to his wife, and calls her every morning. And it's like, and they're like, "Why do you?" It's like, "Well, because my wife does not give me affirmation and love the way that this chat AI bot does, so I use it to supplement my life." And it's like, you hear him, he's driving and he's talking. It's like, "All right, blah blah blah," whatever he named it. Like, "I love you." He's like, "I love you too. You have a good day." And then
So
all
that
of a sudden,
movie Her. So that movie Her. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least in Her, the guy was lonely. But like, this is honestly why it's a slippery slope, because this is, I believe, I didn't think before, because I was in a sheltered bubble. Like whenever you see somebody like obsessed over a celebrity, an athlete, a pop star, or whatever, that they're like, "But you're supposed to be what I think it is. You're talking to me across your music and TV. I know this."
Yeah.
I think those people are more fewer and far in between. But no, I think now that we have AI and all this stuff and more media is out there, I'm starting to think that the human psyche is very fragile, and a lot more people are susceptible to shit like that.
I see. I think I agree. I think the human psyche is very fragile, and I think again, people are very susceptible to it. It's just a matter of what the subject matter that person is dealing with that is connecting to them. Again, because you'll get again, we'll use like wrestling as a sense, like, the world, the bubble of wrestling is very small. When you look at like the breadth of the people in the world. So when you see somebody obsessive over a wrestler, you might be like, oh, I'd never do that, because in your mind, you're like, I would never get attached to a wrestler. But then you talk to, that same person will sit there and be all doing Republican or Democrat stuff, on Twitter all day, because that's their version of that obsession. So
Yeah,
I think
and
everybody's susceptible to it. It's just a matter of, finding that thing that makes you fucking want to really believe. Like for me, it'd probably be like, some kind of food thing. If Gordon Ramsay talked to me, I might be like, oh, Gordon loves my fucking banana bread.
like if Gordon all of a sudden tweeted at you, like ain't nobody in this world to believe, like, bro, that's his assistant. Like, nah, man, shut the fuck up. Me and Gordon, that's my guy. Like
Yeah.
he talked to me directly.
He misspells like broth the same way I do. See,
Like
we get
we
along.
both, and like I think it's just we're so fragile creatures because we're very complex,
Yeah.
and I think it all leads to vulnerability.
Mhm.
Like if you're vulnerable and something satisfied the dear and need that you have for something,
Yeah.
you suspend all belief, even though you know it's detrimental to your own being, because you need the validation or the want or just to survive another day.
Well, I feel like for a lot of people, it's because they want to feel like they want to feel like the way they're thinking is right. For a lot of
Mhm.
people, they don't want to, they don't want to face the fact that what they believe in that situation, they might be on the wrong side of history. Once you can get over that fact and be like, okay, it's okay to be on the wrong side of history if you're then using that knowledge to then change
Yeah, and the
and get
the
better. But for some people, they don't want to do that. They just want to believe that, like, yeah, no, no, what I believe is right. I'm always right. And this person is, affirming, validating that.
yeah. So, like, think about bro, anytime something is new and we don't
Just,
understand it,
hey, bro, just so you know, this episode, when I put this out, is going to be like, there's so much lag going on right now. Like, I don't
I
know
know.
how this is going to look, but fuck
I
it, the
hope
audio
that
should be good.
I hope that everything when it's saved locally, it
Yeah.
like skip this. Maybe it's our connection because I've been just working through it. I'm like, all right,
Same with me. I'm just like, all right, like I can hear you fine. So as long as the
yeah.
audio is good, we just might put two dancing bears on screen the entire episode like that.
So if you think about it, anything that is too new that we don't comprehend or understand immediately,
Yep.
we as society we make fun of. I
Yeah.
was trying to say ostracize. I can't even say it.
Ostracize.
There you go.
Yeah. The Dominican
Sorry, yeah, I can't. My
my-
Dominicanness is
you know
is
what I'm saying?
getting
He's an ostrich. We ostrich it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Dick. Um, like think about it. Like remember back in the day when like in the late 90s when people were using AIM and everything, and you'd be like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I met a chick on online or whatever." They'd be like, "What are you, a weirdo that's trying to trap a little kid? Like get out of here,
Yeah.
you nerd." And then now the apps is the number one way people meet people.
Bro. Yeah. Yo, but you ever seen the meme? 20 years ago, they'd be like, hey, don't get in cars with strangers. Now you go on an app and call a stranger to your house to pick you up.
And then you'll have conversations like, "Oh man, where you going?" "Nah, man, I just left my house alone. I live by myself. I'm going to a party and I'm going back home alone." Like,
Yeah.
people are stupid. And it's like think about it. Like I mentioned chat bots and all this. People be like, "Oh, those are weirdos." 25 years from now, we're gonna have robots that operate on AI, and it'd be like, "All right, girl, let's get out of here. This neighborhood is going crazy."
Yeah. You can be like, oh,
Like,
look
get
at
in
this.
here, Vicky 2500, and it's
I
like,
know. Oh, you can be like, it's dude, I'm telling you, in like 25, 30 years, you're gonna see like robot dog walkers and people, stuff like that. Okay. So I brought this up when we first started the pod, but the second Renaissance, which is part of the Animatrix, second Renaissance part 1 and part 2. If you watch that, it feels like that's where this world is going. And this film is a really good, example of like, hey, we can get lost in the sauce if we don't be careful, you know?
yes. And it's like, this movie's not even about technology. It's the fact that simple things that like man, it's like this person got so obsessed that she, like, towards the end, even when they gave her the medical help, she did not find her way back.
Yeah.
Rumi's like completely in a fantasy world, and
But
it's
again,
like,
it's not even about even like hers is like a very extreme version. But what about the fan, the crazed fan that was like talking to the fake Rumi or Mima online? Like I've experienced that in my life. Like
I
in
know.
my
That's why I
lifetime,
said,
I've had that shit happen. I had this one time I was at WrestleMania in Tampa, and it was like 1:30 in the morning. I was sitting there working on some shit. All of a sudden, I get a phone call, and it's from Minnesota. And I was like, "The fuck is Minnesota call at fucking 1:30?"
you were like, oh, I got the call. It's Brock. Brock needs some new shorts.
Bro, I picked that up. I was like, "Hello," and I kid you not, this is almost verbatim. The person on the line goes, Yo, leave Mercedes alone. Like, she's with me. What are you talking? What are you doing? Just leave her alone. And I was just like, bro, I ain't got time to fuck around. And I just hung up. I'm like, I got too much shit to do. But I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Have you ever seen that MTV show where that is like, oh,
Catfish?
No, not even Catfish. Like, oh, and it's always something stupid. Like, oh, I'm a 25-year-old man and I wear diapers all day. And it's like, oh, he has a medical. No, it's just like, this is what I do. And it's just like normal people. And then they do the craziest thing. Like, this person probably has a high paying job.
Is it something?
Huh? What'd you say?
Yeah.
Like, this person has probably a high.
It's the lag. It's fucking us up.
Okay. So this person that called you probably has a high paying job, probably has a family, but like goes around the day and then like probably has this room in the basement that has all of Mercedes, aka Sasha Banks' pictures, and it's like sitting there with like a life-size doll, and it's like, what are we doing tonight, babe?
Bro, it's
like in his mind.
Bro, it is crazy. I remember being at SmackDown one time, and again, this is inside baseball. I remember being at SmackDown one time, and I got a call from my neighbor, and he was like, "Yeah, somebody was at your house. He was looking in the windows and stuff like that." And then he came over, and he asked me to use my phone and stuff like that. So like, he used his phone, and he's talking to his mom, and he's like, and my neighbor overheard him say, he goes, "Yeah, mom, she's real. There's packages on the front doorstep." And I was just like, what the fuck?
Bro,
what the fuck?
You and no disrespect to you, no disrespect to Mercedes. You guys are like, there's levels of fame. Imagine if you're Beyonce and Jay-Z right now. Jay-Z probably like has to have a dummy house. Like, you know what I mean? Like a house that he lets people know, like, oh yeah, that's my crib, but it's not really his crib.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like, it meant, like, bro, who was it? I think it was Chris Brown. You heard about the person that broke into his house and like was in his bedroom, in his closet, a chick. And people, the internet is super bro. They're like, oh, if that was me, I'll be like, what's up, girl?
Yeah.
No, this man was on vacation or touring, and somebody broke into his house.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing in the music that says, hey, man, I love you, girl. Come break into my house and wait for me.
Yeah. It's freaking great. And again, like you said, like, the wrestling world, the wrestling bubble is small. So like, in the wrestling world, these might be like A-list celebrities, but in real life, they're not really, very few of them can get recognized in public.
Yeah.
So the fact that people get obsessive over people like that, like I've seen people get obsessive over indie wrestlers on the fucking independents. Like, hey, you see me at the fucking Knights of Columbus Hall. Like, the fuck are you obsessed with me for? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I've seen that happen. As you know, we have a couple friends that are famous. You're famous too, in your own right.
No, I'm
but we have a couple friends, and it's just like it's like, I get it. I have the connection and all that stuff. I get the connection, but it's like, man, like, okay.
There's a difference. There's a difference between having a connection because we have like I contact you, I call you, I check on you. Like, we have a relationship. Yeah. But like, there's some people you don't know that person other than they wear blue tights or they sing this song. Like,
Yep.
what builds that thing in your brain that goes, oh, I'm the next Mrs. Whatever.
So it's funny you mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned that. So like on the very rare occasion on Instagram that I take a photo of any one of my friends or whatever, or like I'm at a show or whatever,
Yeah.
like I'll get a random like text or phone call from
Mhm.
random individuals and be like, yo, so you think this is happening? Or do you think this is and I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, I know you plugged in. And I was like, plugged into what? Like to my headphones right now, listen to you on this call. And he's like, nah, come on, bro. And then I sometimes I'd be like, nah, bro. Or I'd be like, yeah, hold on. Let me text him and be like, you know what? He said he'll hit me later. He said he can't talk. He can only say this to me face to face.
That's happened to me where I'll speak at like schools and stuff like that. And I'll, be talking about, oh, you get that question. Who's the most famous person on your phone? I'm like, oh, this person. Oh, can you call them right now? I'm like, come on, man. What are you doing? Like, they're clients. Like, it's not like, come on.
Yeah. Like, shout out to Megaran, who's a friend of the pod as well. Like,
Yeah.
you two guys probably have some big names on your phone. And then he's the first one to be like, I know of him. We have each other's number, but I'm not gonna be like, hey, brother, like, what you doing right now? Hold on. There's like cats will think that, like, you ever seen a Back to the Future? That he's like, Marvin, I got the new
know that new song, that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to this.
It's like, you think that's gonna happen? No, it's not like that. But
no, again,
movie,
with this movie, again, it really captures the idea of like an obsessive person. That's like someone who can get obsessive over someone else's life. But what I really appreciate about this movie is like the twists and turns. Like, you really don't know what's about to happen to Mima throughout the movie, which is why, like, again, if you've gotten to this far in the pod and you haven't watched the movie yet, like, I'm sorry we spoiled a bunch of stuff, but like, go back and watch it. It's really fucking good. Some parts are actually like that when they film,
scary.
It's scary. It's uncomfortable. When they filmed that rape scene in the strip club, that was actually very uncomfortable for me.
It was. And so, like, it's one of those things. Until I saw the credits, I was just like, no, there's gonna be another twist. When she looked, it was like, in my mind, I walked away, and again, I had to watch it a second time. I was like, is this bitch crazy too? When she looked in the mirror, it took me a second to understand. Like my wife does this at times. She looks at the mirror. Of course, when she's getting ready, she gives herself words of affirmation. And I caught her one day, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, I did, because I'm a dumbass. I was like, "You okay? You talking to yourself?" But she was like, "No, this is part of my morning routine." I was like, "Oh, I get it. Cool. I know it's weird when I walk in on it. When you're probably doing it by yourself, it's like, you ever seen the mirror when they're like, you matter, like, stuff." But
you walk in like, no, that's, you got this. You got this.
Yeah. Like, I talk to myself like that. I'd be like, all right, just calm down, get through it. Like, when she looked in the rear view, I thought it was gonna be, she was gonna look back and there's gonna be like hallucinating a demon.
I did
like,
too.
Yes.
I did too. I thought she was gonna look and it was gonna be a twist, like, oh no, I'm the crazy one.
Like that, like even the dialogue, like, why did she say you're the real Mima? And I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, that's why if I was to make this a live action series or movie, I would make it, instead of Rumi, because Asian culture aside, you guys hate fat people. So like I feel like they made Rumi like fat for no reason. Nobody else was fat in this entire movie except her, and they like drove it home.
Yeah, they drove home like, oh, she's well, but I guess maybe it highlights the idea that this beautiful pop star is the image that she wants for herself.
Yeah, but Rumi, I think I would make her like almost a doppelganger of Mima.
Think so? Really?
Yeah, and then have it and have it as and then have it be more of a psychological body dysmorphia. Like, she sees herself as this overweight, ugly person.
Yeah.
And then throughout or like do it something subtle throughout the whole movie, you keep seeing her as the chubby one.
Yeah.
But then when all of a sudden, like, you film it in like a hazy light, and then when the reveal happens, you see that she looks almost exactly like her, except with very subtle changes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, holy shit, this person sees herself this other way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That would be a sick thing. But this movie's from 97. It's like 30 years, almost 30 years old. I don't think anybody's going to do this now. Or maybe we spearhead this with our podcast.
Listen. I have you talking right there. Just put an idea in my brain for once we get past our anime. We got a couple more weeks of anime. After that, I have an idea for a couple of weeks of movies that I think is going to be really fun.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Okay, so would you recommend this anime to a lot of just movie fans in general?
100%. But I would preface it with saying, like, this ain't Naruto. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna come out like, don't let the beginning, you be like, oh shit, it's a Power Rangers type thing. Like, first of all, I was way too excited for that, like way too excited. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, it's a slow burn.
Yeah,
and I like it.
This is the type of anime that I would actually introduce to people who don't watch anime, because it feels more like a regular movie. And if someone who watches a lot of dramas, who doesn't really watch a lot of like, non-serious like content, I'd actually recommend it to them, because I'm like, listen, it's more like a serious adult drama than you would think. So it's actually, it's a good introduction to people to be like, oh, okay, anime is more than just demons and soul sucking and tentacles and shit. I think that's what people think. A lot of people just associate anime with like hentai and shit.
First of all, when you said that anime is more than, I literally started thinking about the Cody Rhodes song. Anime has more than one pervy topic.
All right. Well, before we get to the end of this pod, normally we do a hot take of the week. Okay. And I'm pretty sure Marcos probably has a hot take lined up. I say hold on to that for next week, because we have something very specific to discuss right now, which Marcos is, I don't think he realizes, it. But yeah, we have something very important to discuss.
I have no clue what you're talking.
Yep. Okay. So we'll hold off the hot take for next week. This week we have to deal with a little something called the NBA regular season, and who ended the regular season with a better record. Now, I'm gonna go try to find it. I think it's on the pod. I don't remember if we talked about it on the pod.
Yes, we talked about it. I am not gonna welch on a bet. I was not gonna remind you. I was not going to remind you.
No. But then you're gonna come on the episode today wearing all this Knicks stuff.
Hey,
and I was like, you know what?
It's because my Knicks are killing it right now. Like, to quote one of my good friends on Instagram, who's a fellow New Yorker, Lionel Sayer, he said, everybody's better than Jalen Brunson until you have to be better than Jalen Brunson.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Again, Celtics are actually going great too. So I'm pretty sure, both teams are going to meet each other in these playoffs. And
so are you saying you want to amend this bet?
No. I can't wait to just have you for a couple episodes of the pod in your Celtics gear, to waxing poetics about the Celtics during that series.
So I might have to change the venue of my recording, because I have a green screen. You'll just see a floating head. As a matter of fact, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. All green. It just be like Swami. Like, fuck, I'm old. You guys probably don't even know from the Johnny Carson show. Just a floating head.
But yeah, no. Listen. I was paying attention to that end of the season, and I was like, ooh, that's 2 and 3. I'm watching them go back and forth. I'm like, who's gonna hold on to it? And when I saw once that regular season,
and it was only by a couple games. It was like one game, I think, or 1.5.
Yeah. Once I saw that the Celtics locked in that number 2 spot, I was like, okay, we're good. I can just hold on to this. I was gonna wait till after playoffs and all that stuff, but you had to come on with all that gear on. So okay, so what's your prospects for the playoffs for the Knicks? Because obviously when you have the gear on, I'm gonna make
I
you talk high
I
about the Celtics.
my prospect for the Knicks is it's one series at a time. You got to
Okay.
go move the chains. We have, I believe we have game 6 tomorrow. We got to
Mhm.
get past Atlanta. I know a lot of people are like the Knicks should be doing this. I am a very, very conscious NBA fan.
Yep.
There's no JV teams in the National Basketball Association. You know what I mean? Every team is a professional basketball team.
Yeah.
In a 7-game series, anything can happen. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'm not trying to talk shit about the Celtics. The Celtics should have swept the team that they're playing.
Yeah.
But my man, the most hated, and I hate Joel Embiid,
Yeah.
but goddamn, that man is a man. He had an
Mhm.
appendectomy like last week and is on the court killing.
Yeah.
I don't want to see either team, but we
Yeah.
have to see one of them.
Yeah. I love my Celtics, and I want my Celtics to get to the finals, but they do some stuff that gives me heart palpitations, man. When those threes aren't landing and all they're doing is still firing off more, I get it. You let a shooter shoot, you gotta let him go. But at the same time, like sometimes I'm just like, bro, take it in. Take it in. Try to dunk on someone.
Here's the thing. And if you're a true Celtics fan, and again, I'm an NBA fan,
Mm-hmm.
I think the Celtics are in a weird situation. In a weird situation because this has been a Jaylen Brown led team most of the season.
Yep.
Tatum comes back and you change the dynamic. And he came back around the time that Jaylen Brown was out.
Yeah.
So Tatum came back and he comfortable situation. He was always the leader.
Yep.
Jaylen Brown comes back and he's number 2 again
Yeah.
after being number 1. So people are like, oh, but they're a team. And I was like, yeah. But if I was king shit, like you could go back to the first year when Jordan came back on the Bulls.
Mhm.
Scottie Pippen fought for his entire life to get
Yep.
that team to the playoffs. Jordan came in and they lost it, I believe in was it the first round? I know he lost to the Magic.
Yep.
And this is until they get that full-blown chemistry back, they're vulnerable.
Yep.
Or and then you also got to deal like even if they don't do it this year, then you got to deal with real world shit. Like you
Yeah.
can't you have contracts that are not going to be on the books next year.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. I'm a win now. Like the Knicks are in the same boat.
Yeah.
The Knicks, I think if they don't at least make it to the finals because of the high pressure that is being a New York team, we're gonna do something impulsive, like go out and get what's it called?
Katie.
No, not KD. The dude from the Bucks.
Giannis.
Yeah, we're gonna go out there and get Giannis, and we're gonna give up Cat.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and people are like, "Whoa, Giannis." I was like, "Yeah, but
Chemistry's a
where's like Giannis is just a bigger name.
Yeah.
Cat fits better. What you
Yeah.
do is you got to build with the team."
Yeah.
And no, but it's like no, it's like you having like okay, like Jaylen Brown and Tatum. Yes, they are better together, but if you build a team, they play very similar.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
want somebody, you want to default to this is your primary, and then you want people that are amazing, but they're role players. That's why the Warriors worked. They never had somebody that wanted the ball more than Steph Curry.
But here's the thing. The thing with Curry and Clay, which I think a lot of people don't do, which I think is, and this is why I get scared sometimes with Tatum and Brown. The thing with Steph and Clay is when Clay was on fire and dropped like 50 or something, and when he had like fucking 14 threes, he was on fire. Steph was like, yeah, feed him, go. He's on fire. Let him go. Because he's securing himself enough to be like, nah, I'm not going to lose position if he's on fire. Whereas what was it? Who's the other guy when he got there? It was Jordan. fuck, he was gone like the next year. Jordan something, I forget, but he
Yeah, no, the guy that got slapped by
yeah by fucking
till this day, like, yo, how do you want me to work with you? Like, it's like I thought about that in terms of my job. If like I'm in the middle of a meeting and my teammate just slaps the shit out of me, and then we
Yeah.
sit back down and they're like, all right, so
Yeah.
as we're saying, so this is the quarterly profit.
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
Exactly. But again, so you have someone like him who's like, you know, or a Westbrook, where if you're on fire, he's like, nah, I got to get on fire too. Whereas with Stephen Clay, you know, it was like, if he's on fire, we're going to work today to make sure he's fucking goes off.
Yeah.
I want Tatum and Brown to get to that point to where like, hey, I'm secure in how I play and what I do. You know, let's feed off each other. Let's work with each other so that, you know, whatever is working. Kind of like, and you know who's really good at that is fucking this dude that fucking made the coffee during the fucking pandemic. He played for the Magic. Or not the Magic, the Heat.
Are you talking about Dwayne Wade?
No, Butler.
I know you're talking about. You're talking about Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. Like he's really good at feeding his team throughout an entire game to where it makes you go, oh yeah. You know, we got this down. Then all of a sudden the fourth quarter comes in and he lights up because he's like, yeah, I got no problem taking a back seat throughout this game. But when you need me to lock in, that's when I lock in. And all of a sudden now everybody else has to compensate.
Like, I'm old school. I guess I'm a person that a Shaq and Kobe, you know what I mean? Tim Duncan, like when you have players that are on opposite sides in terms of their role of the team, like that's when they're better. Like Dirk and Nash, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, but if you are too, they're damn near the they call Tatum is a point guard. He's not. Like, you know, he'll have what is Jaylen Brown is your starting two. I know they go back and forth 2 and 3. And then you got a point guard that is a shoot for first point guard.
Yeah.
That they're like criticizing. They're like, oh, he's struggling. I was like, he's a point guard. He's supposed to pass. You have too many options.
Yeah.
It's like,
and you got Peyton Pritchard, who, you know, he's trying to build himself up, and it's like, you know, that's why it sucks. That's why when they were throwing around the idea of getting Ben Simmons, I was like, yeah, get Ben Simmons because he'll pass. You know, let him be the point guard that passes and let Brown and Tatum run around.
It's one of those things that like, you know, and again, I might be completely wrong, and like sometimes it works out. Like, if I think that this team, if they keep building around the core, I'm talking about the Knicks. You have Jalen Brunson. He's your number one scorer.
Yep.
You know, we needed somebody that could score like Cat. Would I love him to have better defense? Yes. But you could bring a small forward, and we have a small forward that is defensive minded.
Yeah.
When we brought in the dude from Brooklyn, and we traded way too many picks for him.
Yeah.
He came in with that. But it's like, we got to shore up the bench. If we bring in Giannis, we're going to give up a hole. Now we're going to be undersized at the 5, but we're going to have this crazy power forward that's going to want the ball.
Yeah.
All the time. And Jalen Brunson is not that guy. He's not like, you know what I mean? Like, he drives in. If he was a shooter that was just a pure shooter, but he goes to the basket. I guess he's very good at shooting the 3 and jumpers, but his bread and butter is breaking down, little man complex, going in and making people look like fools. And if he's going in and you have somebody already clogging the lane, that's going to be a problem. Big Cat, he loves to shoot outside. He's like, it's funny. I suck at basketball. I was good, but at a very young age, I was like,
and the empanadas. Then you was like, fuck this.
Whatever. No, I just knew that I had no pro career because number one, I didn't play down low. I wasn't posting people. Like, I love to shoot. And I think Cat is a person that if he truly locks in, he could dominate both.
Yeah.
Because he pulls these big men all the way out to the 3-point line that leaves this 5 position completely open that you could drive to the basket.
Yeah.
Giannis doesn't do that. He has a great jumper, but Giannis is not a 3-point shooter. He's not going to bring somebody out.
Yeah.
Like, so you could have the lane open, but you know, like I said, I'm a fan. You know, these guys get paid millions of dollars to know better. I assume the GM and all this stuff.
Yep.
But I think if the Knicks don't improve on what they did last year,
Yeah.
they will blow up the team. And I feel
Yeah.
like Boston, you guys are in a better position because you're playing with house money. You guys didn't expect Tatum back this year.
No, that's why I was worried. I was like, and I was worried that he was fighting to get back so that he didn't lose, fanfare and position with the team. But also, like, I was afraid that, like, because Brown was doing great, and I was like, I don't want the chemistry that's building up right now to all of a sudden get, like, messed up, because they're not. I don't want to say shoehorning Tatum back in, but now you got another ball dominant person coming back
Yeah.
into the fray.
Like, look at LeBron. Look at LeBron and the Lakers. The reason his sheer will is yielding the Lakers to winning, to the point that they're saying if the Lakers move on, then Luka might not want to come back that quickly, because he's like, they're saying that he wants to take his time to heal up. But I also think it has to do with chemistry. He's like, when LeBron plays with me, it's a completely different game, because LeBron is now playing with, like, I'm the only option. He's like, there.
Yeah.
Give it to the young guy that's going to be here after I retire. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's the latest episode of Surratt and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast featuring Marcos. It's your boy Surratt, aka Mikazi.
It's your boy Marcos, aka at the Sunset Kid 56. Go Knicks.
Yeah, go look forward to the next couple of episodes. Not the next, but the soon to be next, where Marcos will be dripped out in Celtics gear, and it's not just a one episode thing. It's going to be a couple episodes. So yeah, well, until then, continue on this anime run with us, and we will come back next week with Marcos's next choice, and hopefully it's from this century. We'll see.
I hate you, bro.
All right.
Later.
I'm a warrior.